They were born in the early 80s. They went to an elite university but not to Oxbridge. They have some potted plants and like to cook from recipe books. Probably they have the first Ottolingy book, but they know that's a bit passé now. They don't go out much anymore, but they still check Resident Advisor from time to time because they like to think they could go out if they felt like it. Sometimes they go to Cafe Hoto. They were probably into burial at some point. They also have a favorite Mahler symphony. They've probably been to Brain and even considered moving to Berlin in the mid-2000s. They used to stay out till dawn dancing in warehouses in Hadneywick. Now they have a stable routine. They watch Adam Curtis documentaries to keep up with the sneery conversations on Facebook, and, of course, Chris Morris and Patrick Killer were always their heroes. They could make a joke about the Werner Herzog Penguin documentary. They are left-wing, but they would never use embarrassing words like solidarity or comrade. They rarely, if ever, go to protests. They have a job that requires them to wear clothes that are relatively smart, a round-necked woolen jumper over a shirt, for example. They have a pure wool scarf and good leather shoes. They do not read Marx, but they know enough about him to make fun of people who are obsessed with the value form. Their group of friends from university who they see less and less don't know anything about the value formula. They might own a copy of 8,000 Platos, but it's years since they bothered reading that kind of thing. They like Jonathan Ned and Stuart Lee. They hate Clapham even though one of their friends moved down there recently. They read The Guardian online, but of course, they know it's shit. Sometimes they read articles on Jacobin. They have a long-term girlfriend, but feel weird about getting married even though they've already bought some second-hand antique furniture together and various kitchen appliances. Probably they have lived in Slug Newington at some point, but probably they don't anymore. Probably they would go to a gastro pub from time to time, but they would probably call the other people in it cunts. Probably they have a decent coffee maker of some sort. They are not egregiously misogynistic, but they probably do not read many books by women. They have a degree of success in their field. Over 3,000 followers on Twitter. They are not rich and still have to juggle various jobs, some freelance, some not. They get very angry about the state of the world and remember weird details about the machinations of the Parliamentary Labour Party. They probably subscribe to the London Review of Books. They probably read novels and non-fiction hardbacks, but not as much as they did in their early 20s when they got really into Pynchon. Of course, as a teenager they really liked Ballard. They definitely recognize Ian Sinclair if they saw him on the street, but they don't go to Dalston so much these days.